I remembered reading somewhere that milk, the processed milk that we buy from the supermarkets and whatnot, is generally not good for people of African descent, and cheeses and stuff like that. So, I haven't really been able to get someone to prove or disprove that theory. But what would your take be on that?
There's an organization called the Vegetarian Vegan Society, and they actually send out a publication to all nutritionists, which I was lucky enough to get one sent to me as well, called The White Stuff. And it's a very disparaging report on milk and dairy products in general. And it actually noted that milk is just bad for everyone. Basically, the constituents of milk are bad for everyone. And I, for myself, know that the prevalence of a condition called lactose intolerance is rampant throughout the U.S., and it's rampant over here as well. Now, lactose intolerance is your body's inability to process a particular sugar that's found in milk, which is called lactic acid. Your body can't digest this properly, and so when you eat lactose. So when you eat lactose, it's the sugar in milk, and milk is what's used to make some yogurts, regular dairy yogurts and cheeses and butters and milk products. When you eat this, your body can't digest it properly. Therefore, you get a lot of digestive problems. You get flatulence. You get bloating. It can cause diarrhea. It can cause constipation. It can lead to things like irritable bowel syndrome. It can lead to a lot of different things. Now, on a very fundamental level, if we go back to nature, which is where I like to take everything back to, if we go back to nature, it's very rare that you will see any other animal drink the milk of any other animal. A cow drinks cow's milk. Goats drink goat's milk. Monkeys drink monkey. You don't see a monkey sharing its milk with a goat. You don't see a hyena giving, an elephant its milk. Species by species, we drink the milk, and milk is only drunk up until the point where the infant can start masticating, which is chewing and breaking down foods and being able to digest them. And up until that point, the perfect food for the animal as it's growing up as an infant is milk, because it contains everything. When you, as a human species, start eating the milk of another animal, if you're not a 20-kilogram baby cow, you can't expect the nutrients and the constituents of that milk to suit your body in any way, shape, or form. But for people who don't want to take on that reality and still say milk is the perfect food and it's the best food for you because it's got so many nutrients in it, then fine, let's take it from this viewpoint. Milk that's on the shelf today, once it's come out of the cow, and the cows aren't all roaming freely eating grass as cows should be. A lot of them are pent up in big factories, standing in their own, sewage for most of the time, flies around them, 20 cows in a very small space, very unhygienic conditions. These cows are also being pumped steroids, they're being pumped antibiotics, they're being pumped things that will stimulate their growth to make them grow faster and produce more milk. These are the kind of animals that the milk is coming out of that you're drinking. So that's even before anything's been done to it. The cow itself, the cows themselves are typically quite sick, and you're drinking the milk that's come out of these cows. Now, once the milk's come out of these cows, so let's say we have the cows that have been grown, that have been reared in the fields, and they're not pent up in the factories, and they're roaming freely. So the milk that comes out of these cows is going to be a lot better because maybe they haven't been pumped with steroids and antibiotics and all these types of things. So you've got a cleaner milk. For that milk to sit on most supermarket shelves, it will have to be pasteurized, and pasteurization will involve the milk being heated up, and sometimes things will also be added to the milk in order to maintain its shelf life. So, and when you do heat up the milk and do certain processes to it to get it to the regulations that it needs to be on the shelf, that in itself will make the milk even more difficult to digest in the first place. So you have many things to consider there. Firstly, the cows aren't in a good state in the first place. Secondly, you don't need antibiotics, but you're taking on antibiotics that have been given to a cow. And thirdly, you're not a baby cow, but you're eating baby cow milk. So for all of those reasons, it's not even just the Black African community, but many people worldwide are intolerant to this product, milk. But milk is found in so many things you probably wouldn't even dream or understand why they would be in there. But they're found in so many different things. It can be quite difficult to get away from it without being vigilant or moving over to a whole food diet, which is so helpful in many ways. It's just eating foods in their whole form, so you don't have to read any long list of ingredients of which you may not even understand a lot of the names. Just eating whole foods is a fantastic way of avoiding things like milk, which, as you read and in the past, is, you know, for many people it's just not. It's not what it says on the tin. It's not as great as people used to think it was. And if people do want to continue to have milk, then at the very least I would recommend you try and find a source of raw milk from free-range, grass-fed cows is the only way that I would recommend someone gets it in their diet if they're trying to have it on a regular basis.
Right. Well, that was a bit of a revelation and education for us. I mean, you know, I must thank you, Leah, for really clearing that up. And I'm sure listeners will really appreciate this new bit of information that hopefully will impact on them in a positive way.